What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Mouth Podcast. This is episode 83. Hope everybody's doing well. Saturday night / Sunday, early Sunday morning here. Another fun week of nerdy shows to talk about with at Customs by Matthew as he joins at some point here. But yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a great week. And we got Andor to talk about. We got She-Hulk to talk about. I watched the show Dahmer. Got that to talk about. I'm sure Matt has some things he watched this week, so it should be a good episode. And here's Matthew. What's up, buddy?
I did. What up? How's it going?
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. Tired, but good.
I'm tired too. I didn't sleep very well last night.
I slept so well that I felt like I didn't sleep at all. You know, when you get like really deep sleep.
You overslept.
I did though. I only slept 8 hours, but like I slept so deep that like it felt like I slept like 135 hours. You know,
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, it's good, but
I guess it's good. You probably needed it.
I'm really tired. Yeah, it's been a shit week, so I needed sleep. You know.
I get you, man.
Yeah.
I had a productive week, but Kate went to her parents' house this week, so
Right. You're the bachelor in Vancouver.
Yep. I had lots of time to do nerdy shit, so it was good.
How'd your kit bash thing go on Wednesday?
That was so fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. There was just good conversation, and like I think I told you, but like I have like it's probably like 4 or 5 guys who are like regulars at this point, and they're like, you know, almost every week they're there, right? So it's kind of nice to like have kind of the same faces over and over again, and it's just enough to make it like I can still keep up with the chat. Like anything more than that, it can be tricky. So I'm trying to like work and do stuff, but I'm trying to also like stay on top of shit, you know?
Totally.
So
yeah,
I got like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
These people that like have like thousands of people in their like chat, I'm like, I don't know how you even like follow that or pay attention.
Like, most of those people don't like keep up with the comments. Like, you know what I mean? Once you hit a certain level, it's just like it's not.
You'd have to have like a second person with you to just read the comments out to you as you like worked or something like that. But
yeah. Like even the Toy Amigos, they miss a lot, and like they only have like 100 people, like 80 to 100 people, right? So it's like.
Nice.
It's easy. And then I guess the thing is too is when you have that much talking in the chat, it's like you can't really hit every comment, or else like your show is just you reading comments. Like it's not, you know what I mean? It gets to a point, right? So yeah, some days like this Wednesday's one, like there was a lot I had to skip because it just like I just couldn't keep up. There was like a lot of chat, right? So
totally. You get nothing accomplished if you just read the chat. So
totally. Yeah. So it was that, and then I got like a bunch of like kit bashing. I kind of pieced together like my projects for early 2023, and then I like started customizing. I finally finished all my shelves. Finally. That being said, I have a bunch of shit coming next week, so
you have to start over again and redo them all.
This is where it becomes a problem, right? But like I have an idea of where it's going, and like the last shelf I did was down here, the very bottom, and all my like Disney Plus Marvel stuff's coming. So like, I was like, I have to fit a Hawkeye and a Kate Bishop. I have to fit She-Hulk. I have to fit Sharon Carter and Moon Knight and Mr. Knight. And so so I kind of know where it's going, but it's like thinking in my head where 7 figures is going to go versus putting 7 figures in is like
first world problems, buddy. First world problems.
A little dicey. Yeah, totally. So. And I made my first WWF custom.
Oh, very nice.
It's not really a custom. It's more, again, just a kit bash. It's like, they
made
like a Ultimate Triple H, which has like these cool like butterfly joints and the better articulation on the torso. But he's in his like more modern DX costume, so I bought the Elite version, which is like the step down from that. Triple H, and I just swapped out like the legs so that way he has like his proper costume on, so and switched the head and stuff too. But yeah,
I guess, like, I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit, like, the last couple of weeks about wrestling, but, like, I was just listening to a podcast, and they're saying, like, the WWE is, like, back to, like, 90s version WWE. Like, I guess it's like, excellent right now.
The thing is it's still not. So Triple H, I think I might have referred to this last week with you. Or maybe
he, like, took over creative or something, right?
Yeah, Triple H and Billy Gunn, I think, took over creative. I think it's Billy Gunn. I might be wrong. But Triple H for sure. And I know that, like, he's making some changes, and I know it's, like, going over really well right now. But I heard that he still doesn't want to, like, make it, like, bloody and, like, super violent. Like, I think they're going to let Monday nights go back to, like, being PG-13, I think.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he doesn't want blood, though, because he doesn't... Yeah. I think it's mostly because of how bad his, like, injuries and shit is, that he doesn't want these people to have, like... career-ending, like, problems or anything like that. So I think he's like, why risk it if we don't have to, kind of thing. But like, I saw that they're bringing for Survivor Series, they're bringing back like a cage, like 2 cage match where there's 2 rings and 2 cages. But they didn't like I think it was like WCW or ECW or something like that, like way back in the day.
Okay.
So he's doing like a bunch of like really old school things, and like he said he wants it like back up to PG-13 and like really like that like heyday of like late '90s, early 2000s WWF. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. For what we've been watching this week, I have been watching a fucking ton of WWF, man. So like I just go on WWF's web YouTube channel. They have like a pretty hearty selection of like classic matches. You can't watch whole things, which is kind of a bummer, but like they got a decent amount. There's full matches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like you don't really get the full pay-per-view, which is what I ultimately want, but like it's fine. But the annoying thing is, man, the fucking ads. Like I've been watching Royal Rumbles. I think they have like 3 or 4 of the Royal Rumbles on there. Like every participant, there's an ad. It's like, fuck off, really?
Yeah. No, like I said last week, I think like YouTube's getting brutal with ads. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm even at the point where I've started.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
We're just gonna like we're gonna forget about Marvel and just end up a wrestling podcast, man. I swear to God. We're just gonna start watching Raw and shit again.
Like, dude, this is where I'm at right now. It's like I can't stop, and I haven't even put up what I have yet. Road Dogg.
Yep.
X-Pac.
Very nice, dude.
China.
Oh, that's sweet.
And the Hulkster brother.
Yeah, you showed me that one last week, but that's fucking sweet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man.
On Tuesday.
You're gonna need another shelf, man, for all the wrestlers.
Oh, they're not going in here. I
don't they're going to.
Nah, they're going to. They're going to work, but
you're gonna need a wrestling ring, fucking set them all up, and.
What up, Toy?
Hey, what's up, Toyworks?
Yeah, the thing that sucks for me is like I'm loving it, and it's funny because like Kate came home tonight, right? Like or today we came home. I go and picked her up, and when she turned on the TV in the bedroom, wrestling was on because what I've been doing this past week is like I just put something on and I'll just like fall asleep. I fall asleep way better to television than I do like to nothing. So I just put it on and just like go to bed and like whatever. So anyway, she turned it on and it just auto started when the TV turned on, and I was watching a Royal Rumble, and she's like, "Really?"
That's so great. And I'm like, Del Margo Photography, how's it going, man?
What's up, man?
That's awesome, man. I always would love to get back into wrestling and just start watching it on the regular, but like it's so hard to follow 2 different shows weekly on top of like. I just don't know anybody left in WWE like at all. Like, there's no attachment anymore to any of these people. So it's if there was some more nostalgia involved in it, I would definitely dive back in. But everything I know is gone.
The thing is, for me, is like the wrestling part isn't the part that I'm intrigued. I like it's purely based in nostalgia, man. Like I just like
same with me for sure.
It's like that's the part I love.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think I don't know. Like I don't think like I've heard a lot of people make comments about like AEW being really good and whatever, and I'm just like I don't want something that's like the old Raw and like the Attitude Era. Like if it's not the Attitude Era, I'm just not interested. Like
well, apparently
I'm just gonna sorry. I'm just gonna say something to the people who are chatting about the HasLab. So,
yeah, go ahead. I was gonna read that off, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to cut you off.
So we don't really talk a lot of toys here. I mean, obviously we are a little bit right now, and just due to the nature of what I do. But what I'll say about HasLab is I think it's cool. I think it's expensive. So Ryan, what this is basically Hasbro does like a crowdfunding. It's kind of like what I did with the Sentinel. The Sentinel was the first HasLab where it's like a campaign. They need to get backers. There's tiers like for
Lego does the same thing.
Yeah. So like the one they put out last week was Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. So the current version of Ghost Rider is in like he drives like this Charger and like flames on. Yeah, it's cool looking, right?
Yeah.
But everyone's pretty up in arms because the price on this thing's like pretty expensive. You get the car, you get swappable fire wheels, you get like spin out effects, you get a swappable like hood ornament that's flamed, like there's an LED in the back of the headrest, so when he's in it, his flames light up on his head, kind of thing. But it's it's like $350 US. It's expensive.
That's a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot. So like to me, where I'm landing on this is because there's so much negativity about it right now, and it's driving me bonkers. So all I'll say about it is for me, I would love to see it get backed. I am not personally backing it. I don't really have enough attachment to it, and like for me, I don't see $350 worth of value in it. But I hope it gets backed because those are the kind of things we should all be hoping to get backed because that's what makes our collection so rich and full of different crazy things. It's like
totally,
like I don't need that car, but I can't wait for people to get that car, and then I start seeing it in photographs and media and. Like, to me, it's a win-win. If you don't like it, peace out. You just say, I'm good. And you can express that you don't like it. That's okay. But it's just, there's people in our community right now, man, that are like destroying people because they backed it. And it's like, that's cool that you don't like it. That's cool.
But see, my thing always with that kind of stuff is like, speak with your wallet, right? Like if that's something you want and you're excited for it, great. Like, I'm not going to take that away from you. Why would I? I'm excited for a lot of nerdy things that, like, 90% of people in this world would be like, why the fuck are you spending your money on that? Like,
totally.
Like, vinyl or Lego, or, like, I'm a 37-year-old man. Why are you buying Lego? Because I like it and I enjoy it. And if somebody wants to spend $500 on a Ghost Rider toy, like, let them. It's not your money. Why do you care?
It's like I always say, it's like, people will go crazy for spending the kind of money on that, but then they'll go out and drink for 2 nights in a row and spend $600 on drinks. Sure. And it's like,
or people that go to restaurants like weekly, like a nice restaurant. It's like, you're not going to a nice restaurant anymore for $50. Like it's pricey. And ranking, everything is silly to somebody that doesn't like it or do it. Like smoking. I don't smoke cigarettes, but people that smoke cigarettes, a pack a day, I'm like, you know how much money you're spending on cigarettes? Like, it's insane.
Roll up a 20 and just...
Right, exactly. I don't smoke, so it doesn't bother me, but, it is what it is, right? So, you can care about literally anything.
I saw a couple of people going back and forth, so whatever your opinion is on it, you're welcome here, but...
totally.
It's just not something I want to spend a lot of time talking about, because I think it's annoying. And it's like, it sucks because yesterday, like, they kind of did this early bird thing where, like, if it was fully backed, 9,000 backers in the first week, you would get this bonus Robbie Reyes figure in like human form. So, but it didn't get fully funded. Like, it still has like till like I think the end of October. So it's gonna fund for sure. Right. I think everyone was so like, there was a lot of people who were like, again, like the negativity kind of came down for a couple days, and then that happened, and now it's like everyone's just like, it's like,
you're seeing that in video games, you're seeing that in Marvel stuff now, like you're seeing it in everything. Is like She-Hulk, for instance. I can't stand it. I think it's a terrible show, but I'm not going online and fucking trashing anybody that likes it. Like, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it tonight, but like I'm not enjoying it at all. But hey, you are, and that's fine. Like I'm glad you're getting enjoyment out of it.
Hilarious. I think it's so fucking funny.
But this is what I mean. Is like,
before we switch gears.
Yeah, sure.
There is I think I might have told you about this. Maybe I didn't, because you might even find some entertainment in it. So this guy in our community toying around, he has like this group of collectors called the Enablers, and every month they do like a live stream together, and they're I know I've told you about their like 6-hour live streams or whatever.
Yeah.
But they do a photo contest every year or every month. And
Sure.
this month's theme is it's like hashtag an album cover.
Oh yeah, I saw you post about something this. Yeah.
Anal bum cover? Yeah.
So,
yeah. So he's doing like this month's one is like recreating comic book or music album like covers with action figures.
Right. I saw you post like a Gorillaz one or something. One. Yeah.
There has been so many good ones. Honestly, if I posted everyone, like my whole thing would just be there's so many good ones. But it's so inspiring to me that I actually am doing one. I'm working on one, and I made
you have to do a Blink-182 cover for sure. Yeah, 1,000%. That's great. That's excellent.
I did a first sculpt yesterday, but it didn't turn out. I'm going to redo it tonight. I'm going to have this like a latex glove, and he's going to be holding it in his hand. And I still have to do more on the nurse's hat, but
absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
you could make what is it? The whole "What's My Age Again" video. Is that the one where they're running down the street naked?
Where they're naked.
Yeah,
that would be funny too. That would be.
You will like a stop motion action figure running down the street naked.
If Deadpool's body wasn't so hard to figure out how to do that because it's all textured.
Yeah,
If there was an easy way to do that, I would do that.
Yeah, that'd be great, man.
That would be very funny. Like as a side piece, just to have him like running naked and just blurred out. That'd be fucking great, and it would work with the album too.
Okay, well, guys, if you get Matt to 2 million followers by tomorrow, me and him will work on a music video with action figures.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It'll be the worst stop motion you've ever seen in your life ever.
We're very skilled. We're very skilled.
We're very skilled.
What'd you watch this week?
I watched. We talked about this earlier in the week. I watched Thor: Love and Thunder.
Right.
And I found it significantly less enjoyable this time around. Like I felt like I don't want to say I was bored because I was definitely still laughing, but I don't know. It just didn't hit me like it did the first time, I guess.
Fair.
So, and like I think what we kind of talked about was like how, and I think we mentioned it when we talked about the movie too, but how like some like just for the sake of a joke, like it's already short, but then like there's so much rushing through. It's like, hey, there's Jane. Hey, Jane has cancer. Hey, Jane's Thor now. And it's like, oh, okay, that happened in a minute. Like, are we really moving that quickly here? But okay. So yeah.
I mean, I haven't rewatched it. I would say it just worked for me comedy-wise. Like maybe on a second viewing,
comedy is still there. Like every time the goats would scream, I was fucking dying laughing. Still, right?
I really liked it, but
cracks me up. So
it does feel short. It does feel rushed.
Yeah, it does feel short.
Narratively as strong as like Ragnarok? No, of course not. It's definitely not. But that's like one of the best Marvel movies. So it's hard to hit that caliber again. And I think he had to do something different. If it was just Ragnarok Part 2, I think he would have got criticized for that.
I think it's weird though because I feel like it takes a lot of the elements that people disliked about Ragnarok, and they're like, all right, we're just gonna focus on these for this one. Like, yeah. So I don't know. It was fine. Like I didn't fall. I mean, again, that shouldn't matter because I fell asleep during Andor, but not that that's because it's bad. Just because that's me.
Well, like I said, I think Taika's a weird guy, and I think he has a definite different sense of humor than most directors. And, style and everything, and I think he knew that the movie probably wasn't going to be as well received, and I don't think he cared. I think he's like, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do it, and like. I applaud that as far as like Marvel letting him do that and him having the courage to say like I might get criticized for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And like,
but we're going to give her.
Well, I just think people want something different, and then they get something different. And they're mad that it's different. Like,
and they're like, oh my god, this is so different.
Yeah, like you know what? You cannot like something and not fucking message him on Twitter and say this is the worst movie I've ever seen and fuck you and you should never direct a movie again. Like,
people gotta just go on, move on with your life.
Yeah, just go watch something else, man. You don't like something, cool. There's lots of fucking things out there right now, man.
Lots and lots.
You could fucking spend the rest of your life trying to watch everything comes out and you never manage. So, like,
Yeah.
Just move on. Enjoy something else.
Yeah, I agree. I also, what else did I watch this week? I didn't get to watch. How was Handmaid's Tale? Was it good? I didn't watch it yet.
I really enjoyed it.
Yes. We're gonna talk about that next week, everyone. For anybody who cares.
Yeah, it's something we'll do it like every couple weeks or something because there's not a lot of minute plot.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah,
and like we don't need to talk about it weekly. Yeah, if we feel like something major is happening in it, then we can discuss it. But yeah, I like it. I think it's still
on top of it. I just because Kate was gone and just came home, so yeah.
No,
and we still have to finish. We have like an hour and a half of Stranger Things to still finish before we're fully finished, and it's like, it's killing me that it's just like we're right at the end, and it's like,
yeah, no, fuck, there's no rush, buddy. Yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. I recommend that show endlessly.
Nice. Yeah. What did you watch?
So I obviously watched Handmaid's Tale. I obviously watched, She-Hulk and Andor.
You did?
Yeah. So Dahmer on Netflix.
Dahmer, yeah. I kind of want to watch it after talking to you about it.
So, I mean, I don't know who doesn't know who Jeffrey Dahmer is, but obviously he's like a notorious serial killer. Netflix did a 10-episode limited series. What's that?
I said we're besties. Just kidding. I'm canceled.
Yeah, don't say that. You don't want to be besties with him. I mean, he's dead. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so Netflix did a 10-episode limited series on it. It's about 10 hours long, and each episode's about an hour. Evan Peters, that we know as Quicksilver from
Peters, that's who his name is. I can't remember his name today when we were driving home.
He plays Jeffrey Dahmer. He does a really, really good job. I will say, like, it's a very dark show. Like, it's the subject matter is going to be very dark. I mean, for people that aren't familiar with his story, he was a serial killer in like the 70s, and basically he killed 17 people. He was killing all gay men that he found attractive. He was a cannibal. He ate their fucking flesh and shit.
Fucked up.
He tried to make them into zombies by drilling into their heads and pouring acid into their brains.
What the fuck?
Fucked up. Really fucked up. So, like, the subject matter is very dark. It's very disturbing. There's not a lot of gore.
Like,
No, there's not almost any gore. There's a little bit, but like not the way it should be. They shy away from it. They pan the camera when anything like massive is happening. But it's just it's dark. It's hard to live in that headspace for 10 hours. Like, it's very fucked up show. We're frozen. Matt's frozen. I don't know. Maybe I'm frozen too. Who knows? Okay, I'll just keep going. Hopefully this works. But I would say that like anybody that isn't prepared for that kind of subject matter, you're not going to like the show. It's a dark headspace to stay in for 10 hours. But I enjoyed it. It's slow moving. If you don't know his story, it does a very good job at slowly unraveling his story, but it's also very slow. So like if you don't want to spend 10 hours in this, I don't blame you. Like, there's great podcasts that you can seek out that tell his story in a lot shorter fashion. Last Podcast on the Left did I think a 2 or 3 part series on him way back in the day. They do a pretty good job and put some levity and comedy into it. There's tons of books and other movies and stuff out there, so you can find a lot of subject material on the subject. But I liked it. I thought Evan Peters did a great job. Yeah, I recommend it. I don't know what Matt froze it completely, so. I don't know what is happening right now. We might lose this episode. Matt's broken. Oh, he's coming back. He's a little bit back. He's in fucking 180p. He's using dial-up internet. Oh, no vocals. Oh, God. I can hear you, but... yeah, Matt's broken. Anyway, I also watched the movie Emily is the Criminal. It's Matt's gone. All right, I'll just keep going. Matt will rejoin us at some point. Emily is a Criminal. It's with Audrey Plaza. It's a movie that came out, I think, earlier this year. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know. I love Aubrey Plaza. I think she's gorgeous. Here's Matt again. Hold on. Matt.
Sorry.
He's back. He's back in Hawthorne.
It's weird, before you get into Emily's a Criminal or whatever that is. It's like I disappeared and then I came back and you started moving again, and I basically watched you watch me disappear. You're like, oh, no, he's gone. Oh, no vocals, no audio.
Well, you would be frozen and it would just be a circle spiraling, and then your face would start moving again, and then it'd stop and it starts spiraling again. I'm like, oh, Jesus, I don't know what's happening. If you can even hear me, if you can see me, I don't know. If I'm frozen, I don't know. Yeah,
whatever. It's all good. I'm back. We're back, baby. So sorry, that's the Audrey Plaza show, isn't it?
Emily the Criminal, yeah, it's a movie. It's not a show. It's
right.
Like an hour and a half long. Really good.
Nice.
She does a great job. It's very relatable. Basically, she plays a character that's like, I don't know, basically me in this situation where she has a shitty job. She's not making enough money. She's kind of tired of being behind in student loans and living with a roommate and whatever in this day and age. And so she basically starts doing like criminal activity and kind of gets deeper and deeper into it as the movie goes along. But it's really solid. She does a great job. I've always been a big Aubrey Plaza fan, so
yeah, I like her. She's funny.
She's funny. She's fucking beautiful. She's fucking great dramatic actor. Like, she's great.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah. What else did I miss?
I think that's it. Dahmer was 10 episodes. That took a lot of my week up. So
that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
That was 10 hours. Yeah. And I watched Emily the Criminal and the She-Hulk, Andor.
I watched both of those. What's Emily the Criminal on? Is that an Amazon thing?
No, I don't know if it's anywhere. I streamed it. But also, Survivor came back this week, so I watched that. New season of Survivor. So I'm a big Survivor guy. So yeah, it's all right. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the new era of Survivor. They changed a lot of the show, and they added a lot of like new age twists to kind of change it up, and it's just not working for me. I miss.
It's like, get to that deserted island and take a selfie on the beach.
It's not far away from that, honestly. Oh yeah, man! I wanted to recommend last week, and I forgot about it. But the new Death Cab for Cutie album came out. Asphalt Meadows. It's really, really good. So anybody that's a big Death Cab fan, you probably already listened to it if you are. But people that may have fell off the train for Death Cab, really good album. So I recommend that too.
Nice. That's awesome. Good old Death Cab. I think, as I said to you, it's been a while since I've listened to them, but
you should check it out, man. It's really good.
Maybe. Even it's like weird. There's a lot of old albums that like I loved, and like I won't say that I don't like them still, but they just like they don't carry like they used to. And if I notice one particular style that seems to be in that batch is like softer, lighter.
Yeah, but for me, it's a season thing, right? Like now that we're getting into the fall, it's a great fall album. Or like early, I would say early winter fall album. Like it's very mellow at parts, but there's some heavier tracks on it that are like heavy for Death Cab standards.
Yeah,
but like,
I saw your post the other day about summer being over, and I was like, good Lord, me and you could not be more opposite. I'm just like, thank fucking God the summer's done.
This is my most hated time of the year. Like, I
love the fall. I love the fall. Fall's my absolute favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I love Halloween, but other than that, like, from Thanksgiving to fucking March, I'm just gonna be fucking miserable. So
heads up, everybody.
Yeah, well, I get the seasonal depression thing going on. I don't see sun for 6 months because I'm on midnights, and by the time I get home, it's dark, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up and it's dark again, and it's just it's a miserable existence. So
but in fairness, that's very similar to the people who work the daytime, and like especially out my way, like our days are shorter than yours are. So like,
Yeah.
I'll go into work at 9 and the sun's like it's just getting light out, and then like I get out at 5 and it's like pitch black.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks too because I don't drive, I don't have a car, so like getting around in the winter is a pain in the ass because it's freezing out, and I bike pretty much everywhere. So it's like once it starts snowing,
our where we're at, like you guys are pretty much constantly below zero in the winter. Like
it's already down to 50s here. It sucks.
Yeah, it's been cooler, but like today was like 24. I was like, fuck.
It's been cold here. Like
I wore pants and I sweat my ass off. I was like, oh Jesus.
Oh, it's been like hoodie and pant weather all week, and it sucks. I hate it.
Nice. That's my cup of tea, man.
No, I want to be as close to nude as I can be legally.
You want to be close to nude as you can be, as you just said. Well, that's what Moose Milk Media.
I hate clothes, man. Like,
take off your pants.
Hey, if I could wear shorts and a t-shirt for the rest of my life, I would. I belong in a hot climate.
You're my one friend. Everybody has the one friend who like wears shorts when it's like not appropriate to wear shorts, and like you're my friend that does that.
Yeah, I biked to work last night in shorts, and it was like 50 degrees out. I was like, oh, this might have been a little too chilly, but it is what it is.
That's pretty funny. We should get
She-Hulk
into it because it's 10:30.
Yeah, She-Hulk. What do you want to talk about on She-Hulk? Because I don't have much to say.
Why don't you just kick it off?
I don't like the show. I think it's a waste of time. I've said this week in and week out. I don't understand what they're doing. Why did this have to be 8 episodes? We're 6 episodes in, nothing's happened. It's such a blah show to me that it just feels completely like filler.
Well,
I don't enjoy it. I don't like the characters. I don't even really like Tatiana Maslany in the show, which I thought was impossible to happen. But
a sin.
I just find the whole show's boring. Like I don't really like any of the characters at all. So it's just like, all right, here's another 25 minutes of nothing. Great. And like the fact that she calls that out at the beginning of the episode, like, hey, you guys are all hoping for Daredevil, and here's a wedding episode. I'm like, okay, so now they're just basically telling the audience, like, hey, we know what you want, we're not giving it to you. I'm like, that's not funny. That's just wasting my time.
Like, yeah, but the thing is like you know it's coming, so it's like,
yeah, it's bad marketing.
I didn't expect them to save Daredevil for the last episode, just because we had already. It's like, to me, that reeks of a surprise cameo that you don't expect, not something that you've been promoting since before the show fucking came out. You know what I mean?
Well, that's my biggest problem with it is if this was going to be an episode 7 or 8 thing, they shouldn't have promoted it.
Yeah, I agree. Would have made a lot more sense if they just left that out. So,
but they wanted people to tune in, so they're hoping. They're like, oh, you're going to stay through it because you know Daredevil's coming. And all the other characters stuck, but Daredevil's coming. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about the Daredevil show where I really think it's going to be 8. They're like, oh yeah, it's going to be 18 episodes, and I'm like, is it going to be 20-minute episodes? Because if it's 18 20-minute episodes, I'm not interested. Honestly, just don't bother.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be for sure.
Yeah, that sucks.
Or maybe they'll break it into like 2 seasons kind of thing, right? Like maybe they'll do like Stranger Things where they do separate drops, you know?
Yeah, maybe, but
I guess they would already do that because it's weekly. So,
well, they're saying that it's 18 episode first season, so I don't think it's going to be separate in any way. But I mean, weekly, yeah. But if it's going to be 20-minute episodes, like to me, I'd way rather it be 6-hour episodes than 18 20-minute episodes.
I definitely agree there. Here's my take on She-Hulk. I've said it every single week. I love it. I think it's I actually like find myself laughing through them. Like I find them so funny. I love like where Ryan hates all the side characters. I fucking love, like I love her assistant. I think it's really good. And like, while I do agree with you that nothing has happened, I mean, nothing has happened in the grand scheme of things. Like, yes, we've seen cameos. Yes, we've gotten a little more insight into some of these characters and where they've been over the past little bit. Like that part I love especially, but like to me at the end of the day, like this, I'm treating this just like a sitcom that lives in the MCU that happens to have superheroes. It's not like I'm at the point where like I'm trying to get Kate to watch it because I'm watching this and I'm like, I feel like Kate would fucking love this. Like, it's just like, it's very like pro woman, like it's very, and there's lots of like, and again, right, like I hear a lot of things that like my wife says, and it's like, oh, I think of her when she says certain things, because it's like, again, as a guy, like I don't really experience some of those things, right?
Oh,
but
sure.
it's like, you know, it's like things like talking about like, she's like, oh, you can wear headphones while you walk at night, and it's like, as a guy, I never ever even thought about that. But then once I like moved in with Kate, and she would constantly say like, "Oh, I can't wear headphones. Like, what if somebody snuck up on me or something?" I'm just like, "Oh, I guess that's like a pretty valid opinion for some people. Maybe not me, but like,
Oh, totally.
but yeah, it's like, so it's like I see those things, and I'm just like, I love it, because I'm just like it makes me think of Kate. Like so many things in this, I'm just like, Kate would have probably laughed at that. And like, so now I'm trying to get her to watch it, right? But we're so behind on other shit, so it probably will be a little bit, but might be a rewatch in the future for me. But honestly, like I liked it. I like that they tried to make it more of like a Jen-centric episode. I like the idea of going to a wedding. I liked her friend who was like so against her being She-Hulk, and then all of a sudden she turns into She-Hulk. She's like, oh my God, She-Hulk, I love you. I was just like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just like, it had me chuckle and it made me laugh. And I think it's fucking pretty funny, man. Like, I don't think it like moves the needle in the MCU, really. I think it's just a fun way to introduce this character and like show, you know, her personality a little bit, and yeah, I like it. It makes me laugh. I'm excited. How many more is this? We're on episode 6, right? So there's 2 more. So yeah, I suspect that we'll set up some sort of thing for the last episode next week, and then whatever.
Best character this episode was the dog.
No, that's not true.
It is for me. I saw the dog and I was like, "Well, that's a cute dog." And then the rest of the episode, I was like, "This is terrible."
I feel like we're gonna get a leader Easter egg, or even an appearance coming up in the next week or so, though, because it really feels like they're leaning towards trying to build some Hulks, because at the end they kind of talk about how they have the needle that will pierce her skin now, so they're going to try to get her blood so they can make a bunch of Hulks themselves, right? So I wonder if that's how we start getting to like a World War Hulk thing, because I think in one of the storylines, I'm pretty sure it is Leader and MODOK, I think, build like an army of Hulks and turn a bunch of Hulk's friends into, like Bruce Banner's friends, into different colored Hulks. Like there's like a red She-Hulk and like a blue like Abomination, and like another Hulk, like there's another green Hulk, or like something like that. And there's a red Hulk.
The guy that she was kind of flirting with at the wedding, do you think he's like working for whatever this crew is to like get in like romantically with her, and then he's going to be able to like pierce her to get the blood? Uh-oh, you're frozen again. Well, Matt needs better internet. This is just the worst. Yeah, Matt's frozen. All right, well, yeah, I that's where I think this season's going. Is I don't know, that's how I viewed the character, whoever she was like romantically flirting with at the wedding. I kind of thought he was possibly like the bad guy of the episode, that he's kind of leading her on to, you know, manipulate her into getting her blood or whatever for the leader or whoever is, you know, behind all this. The Titania thing, I think, is kind of just a random side character that's kind of misdirect on the show. But overall, I don't really like the show. I think it's pretty weak. The comedy doesn't land for me. Her character doesn't land for me. Side characters, I feel like there's no development on those characters at all. Like I feel like they're very bland, one-dimensional characters. Yeah, just doesn't do much for me. I wish it did more, but it's my outside of maybe What If. I think this is my least favorite Disney show. What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Unless you got anything more to say on She-Hulk, I got nothing. I mean, I don't
like it. I get why people don't like it, but I like it. So
Fair.
Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep talking about it. I don't have much to say about it. I just don't think the plot's interesting enough to do a deep dive on it. You know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, there's not a ton to deep dive on, so I mean, there is that.
For me, Loki is number one.
For in terms of TV shows so far?
Yeah. Oh, you feeling sturdy, huh? Says, where does Loki land? For me, Loki's, I think, the best show. I would say Loki and Miss Marvel are my top two.
Miss Marvel was pretty fun.
I would say after that, probably WandaVision, honestly. I didn't really like Moon Knight. I thought Moon Knight was overall pretty weak. I think it's great acting.
I like Bucky. I like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, but it wasn't like top shelf for me, but I did really like it though. So
yeah, it was fine. I liked it. I think as we did. Yeah, I think Loki's the best one. I think it's had the most to do with the overall plot, even though it's kind of standalone in a way, and I think it had the best writing, the best acting. I enjoyed it the most, but
yeah,
I liked Hawkeye a lot too. I forgot about Hawkeye, so Hawkeye would be up there too.
A lot. Yeah, same here.
So I think my top three would be Loki, Miss Marvel, and Hawkeye.
I think it would be the same. I think, yeah. I feel like Miss Marvel could easily be swapped out for Falcon and Winter Soldier for me, though.
Fair.
But
Oh, you feeling sturdy says Moon Knight started good, ended terrible. All the Marvel shows do that, and I agree. I think the finales of all the shows have been bad. I think the second last episode are always the best episodes of the season.
I agree.
Pacing is their biggest issue.
I was just going to say, we literally talk about this every week. It's like pacing is Disney's current biggest issue. It used to be they used to have the villains problem.
Yeah.
In some ways, they've corrected that, but I still think their villains overall are mostly weak and underdeveloped. But pacing for especially these Disney Plus shows, they're just. But again, man, it's like this is year one, like
totally. I mean,
or I guess it's year two. But
it is. But it's still part of the same phase. Yeah. So we'll call it whatever, phase 4. It's the first version of all these things. But overall, maybe Black Panther, Wakanda Forever will be fucking phenomenal. But overall, I think phase 4 is just super weak. I think the whole phase has been a letdown.
My preferred choice of words for that is uninspired. It's not that it's weak. It's just that it's missing the magic of watching it build. It's not a reboot, but it kind of is like a reboot because it's basically just introducing a shit ton of new pieces to the play, to the playboard, right? And it's we really haven't spent a whole lot of time on anything before this current batch. So it's they're really spending time trying to move forward. But the problem with that is it feels disconnected because we're not attached to these characters and we're forcing them into a world that already has all these scenarios and rules and I think sometimes it feels not genuine because it's I talked about a few weeks ago where it's it just kind of feels forced to a certain degree, right? But again, you kind of have to you build rules in this world and then
but I think
abide by those rules, right?
It feels like a kid that for his birthday got 6 toys, 6 action figures to play with, right? And you made the best possible world with those 6 figures, and you did all these different scenarios with the 6 figures, and then you had the end boss, which was, fucking Thanos and everything. But now it feels like for Christmas he got 200 toys, and he just threw it all in a big pile, and he's like, okay, we got this character now, we can do this and this and this and this, and it's not going anywhere. They introduced so many new characters, and none of them have plot development. None of them have. Yeah, it's a mile-long lake that's only an inch deep.
Find out more. Yeah, very well said.
It's a bummer,
I still love it, but I just to me, it's like I said, it's uninspired versus phase 3 and phase 2 and phase 1 even. Again, phase 1 was. Even though we were introducing a lot of players, there was a lot more focus. It seemed anyways, there was a lot more focus. And you build focus around 2 characters, and then you kind of let the other ones, play off of that to build their interest and the people that like them, right? So it's
Yeah, I mean,
know.
it's the Jurassic Park quote of like, you were so preoccupied about whether or not you could, you didn't stop to think if you should.
Right.
And that's exactly it. It's like they were so happy that at their success, they were like, let's bring in everything, and there is no rhyme or reason to it. It was just, hey, we have the rights to all these characters, we're fucking putting them all in, and that's the problem. Is there's no.
It's funny though, because I never really found that Disney did that a lot with the MCU in the first few phases. Maybe it's just because they have.
No, but I think it was because they. Yeah, you're breaking up like crazy, but it's because they built it slowly in phase 1, 2, 3, right? Like they had a new character brought in every phase, or a couple new characters brought in every phase, but overall it was sequels to movies that they had already established, and then they built out a little bit, but it kept coming back to the same core characters. Where now you wrote out all those core characters out of after phase 3 mostly, and you brought in all these new characters, but you have no attachment to any of these characters. There's not enough time with any of these characters to have an emotional drive to any of them. So you don't relate to anybody because you don't know anybody well enough. If they had kept, I guess Thor is around, but I mean, like, we haven't got that Guardians movie. Cap's gone. Fucking Iron Man's gone. Like, Hulk has barely done anything. So it's like all the characters we know and love haven't really had a movie where we're going, oh, here we go. Like, I guess Spider-Man too, but I don't know. I just think overall, like, they need to hop on a narrative very quickly. They need to get this ball rolling, and maybe Black Panther is the way to do that, but I have a feeling it's not going to really start kicking off until the next phase. Matt's kind of frozen again. I can't tell if he's completely frozen, so we'll see. I can hear him chewing on candy, though. Let's talk Andor, if you're still there. Yeah. Hulk barely halted. Yeah, Matt's gone. No. Yeah, Matt's dead. All right. I agree. Hulk barely Hulk anymore. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like the fact that Hulk had movement in his character, and he changed and whatever, but like they really needed a Hulk movie during this phase. I think if they would have given up like a World War Hulk movie during this phase, I think it would have been really worked. But getting one episode in She-Hulk with Mark Ruffalo wasn't enough, Oh, Matt. Oh, there he is.
This should be better.
Okay. Andor. Unless you got something else to say.
Nope, I'm good. It's fucking giver.
All right, Andor. What'd you think? Spoilers for the first 3 episodes of Andor. So
watch them. I loved it. I thought it was so good.
Totally. I think it's excellent.
There's a few things that really stood out to me, but like overall, I loved playing in a somewhat unknown landscape, like not knowing any of the characters and kind of learning about these new people. And I have strong feelings that this is going to kick some serious ass. So my first impressions of episodes 1 to 3 are like, they were a lot of fun. I ended up falling asleep somewhere in the middle of episode 2. It was closer to the end. So I ended up actually watching episode 2 twice because I was like, well, I better just rewatch it because I want to make sure I get everything. So I thought it was really good. So
totally agree. I loved it. I thought it had a different tone. It had a different style than most of the recent Star Wars stuff. It was definitely a lot more mature and aimed at like more of an adult audience rather than a child audience.
Yes. Noticed there wasn't a whole lot of like little like small kicks for laughs, like just little Like it was the tone was very serious. There was no goofiness to it. It was just
it was similar to Rogue One's tone of like spy thriller and not like childish comedic movie or whatever. And I love Diego Luna in it. Like I think he's amazing. I want to put him in everything because I think he's just fucking great.
He is very good.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the whole 3 episodes. I was just like, finally, we don't have Jedi. We don't have fucking Force bullshit. We don't have fucking Skywalker bullshit. We don't have Tatooine. Like these are all the things that I complain about constantly about how Star Wars feels the same every fucking show they put out. And finally, we have a show where it's like, I liked Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's fine. Mandalorian, I think, has been the best overall. But
me too.
Yeah, it's different. It has a different tone. It has, cinematography slaps. Absolutely. Cinematography is beautiful. It's shot gorgeously. It had one scene that I thought, wow, that looks really green screened in, but other than that, like it looked great.
I really like the practical sets, like the little city in the first episode. Second episode there. But yeah, like things I like that took me out in like, how I've been saying the CGI and She-Hulk has been
terrible,
kind of taking me out of the scene and kind of the vibe. The thing I found with this one was there was like someone swears. Someone said that Imperial officer says shit, which I don't think has ever happened in Star Wars. I think
that's the first time there was ever a curse word.
And I also believe it was the first time that we ever got like implied
sex,
I think.
I don't think we've ever seen a character like naked almost, other than Leia, but like, like she was basically just walking around in her panties for like a whole scene, and I'm like, right on, like this is definitely aimed at a different audience. Like finally we have like a mature Star Wars thing. Like it's not rated R by any means. It's not like violent, but it's like a PG-13.
Play to a younger audience, so ultimately it makes for something that feels very different than what we're used to.
I mean, the whole opening is obviously like in like a red light district of like Amsterdam or something. Like you would know more than I would.
Yes, I would.
Like it's
I made it sound like I hang out in the red light district. Let me rephrase that.
You were just there.
Amsterdam.
Yeah. No, I mean, like the whole like glass windows of like women or whatever, like dancing in them, and like then they go to like a bar where it's clearly like you're buying like a prostitute of some sort. I assume some kind of sex worker bar or whatever. Like
she's a hoe for show.
Exactly. Like I love that opening. Like I said, I love Diego Luna the entire 3 episodes. I just thought he fucking crushed every scene he was in.
Yeah.
The character that plays like his coworker there, the woman, I can't remember her name right now. Hold on.
The woman that he lived with, the older woman?
No,
Bix. Bix. Yeah,
Bix. I thought she was awesome in every scene she was in too.
Really yeah.
The old woman that he that takes him or whatever, like fucking great. The droid, I loved. I was like, oh, nice new droid. That's cool.
It's funny. They Hasbro showed like a while ago an Andor and that droid 2-pack, and I was just like, I don't have room for more droid. I don't have room for any of this shit. I can't buy any of this Andor shit. I have to be selective about what I buy.
Sure.
And then I saw the first episode and I was like, probably gonna need that droid.
Yeah, I love how he has like a stutter and everything. Like it's great.
It's great. It's awesome. Can you lie? That's 2 lies. What was your favorite episode of the 3?
Probably the third one because it had the most action, but like
third was mine too.
I liked that it was slow paced and it built characters up, and like you could build the tension throughout the episodes as it starts off with him obviously murdering those 2 officers or whatever that are like rent-a-cops of this like mall cops basically of this planet.
I love that though.
No, so did I. I was like immediately like we're getting like a scene that like sets up the tension of the next 3 episodes. Like you knew that was going to be the thing that kicked everything off. It's like, he immediately kills people and he knows like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble. Like I got to run. And it's slowly built. Like you've slowly seen the tension around him build of like officers talking to each other. They're trying to fucking investigate,
going to his work or whatever. They were like going to his house, and
it's just slowly built up the tension until we got the like fucking fight at the end, and it was great. It was well choreographed. The fucking all the people in the streets banging on the fucking
that was
things.
so awesome. Again, like when they were talking about that whole bit with everyone banging on the doors and the trash cans and stuff.
Yeah.
Like even when you could hear it, it totally added to like the feel of what you're watching, because then you start to be like, oh my god, and then all of a sudden it stops and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it ramps up the tension.
Another thing that really stood out to me about this episode or about this show is like the music. It's very different.
Yeah, it's great.
Really like it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to know who did it, because I don't. Nicholas Bertel.
Feeling sturdy. Say everyone was shitting on that 2-pack. He's talking about that Andor and the droid 2-pack that got shown. I probably won't buy the 2-pack because I don't think I'm going to buy another Andor, but I might buy the droid when he gets single released. Inevitably, he will. So
gotcha. The guy's name that does music for it's Nicholas Bertel.
Oh, okay.
He also does the music for Succession, the show I really love on HBO. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. I was noticeably taken.
Noticeably different and noticeably good.
Yeah. So it was really fucking good. I actually am super excited for next week. I would love something darker in the Star Wars universe. So
totally.
Bring that shit right the fuck on. If we get even like Rogue One Junior here, I would be more than okay with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love that it's 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
They were a little shorter, like they were like 35 minutes or so, but it wasn't like it didn't feel short and it didn't feel like too long. Like it felt like the right length.
Yeah. You feeling sturdy, huh? Says, what are your guys' thoughts on the main cop hunting Andor down?
It felt like the guy that you knew that went to high school that really wanted to become a cop, but he wasn't qualified to become a cop, so he becomes a mall cop. Like, that's what it felt like.
I find that character a little bit weird because I have a hard time getting a feel for like he presents like he's super, super confident, but then he's in front of people and he really isn't that at all. And like,
but you could see how
nerdy.
That would be like a pull for the Empire, right? Like they're definitely going to be involved where he wanted to be a stormtrooper, but instead he's this like planet mall cop, you know?
Right.
Where like he doesn't have the balls to actually take on anything himself. He's all talk, but then when he's like confronted with the situation, he's like, nervous and like fucking yeah. So I thought he was well played, but like the fact that he was so high strung about like his uniform being like tight fitting and like we have to do something about this guy that killed our 2 people, but then when it comes down to it, they need a team of 12 to take on one guy, you know.
Yeah. It's interesting. Again, though, there's another group of characters where it's like, I'm super, super hopeful that we get some figures of some of these guys, because there's already characters like the guy who's the older gentleman in the episode 2 and 3, the guy he meets Andor meets at the end of 2. I think it's at the beginning of 3, isn't it? Beginning of 3.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but whoever that guy is, he's the buyer.
It's Stellan Skarsgård that plays him, but Luthen Rail, I think is the guy's name in the show.
Probably gonna need a figure of him. He's pretty badass.
Oh, I hope he gets some scenes where he's like really badass in the next couple things. But
me too. And even Bix, I'd probably buy a Bix too.
So would I. She's awesome.
Does it come? Does it come in a 1-1 scale? I would like one to cuddle with.
Yeah, fuck. Watch Dahmer and then get back to me on that one. But yeah, no, I loved it and I can't wait to see what happens, and I love that it built up the tension slowly. We got character development. It definitely clearly is going to tie into fucking Rogue One, and I know obviously it's going to tie in, but just the way that I saw the show flow, it was like, oh, you could see how this is building up to Rogue One. It's great.
Yeah. I wonder if we end up getting, as we get into more seasons of it, I wonder if we inevitably end up getting to see Krennic again, Director Krennic from Rogue One.
I think he will in the second season.
I wonder if Andor and him have crossed paths before this, like before we see them in Rogue One together.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I definitely think that they're going to build in the Empire slowly into like what's going on. But
I do too.
I'm interested to see where, like, you know, they're clearly leaving the planet now, like where they're going to go and how this ties into like the overall alliance and everything like that, the Rebel Alliance and everything. Like, I don't know. I love it. I think if it continues this way, it's going to be my favorite Star Wars show. I think it could be better than Mandalorian.
I mean, it's on the right track. So the first 3 episodes got me pretty stumped. I'm pretty pumped. So pretty stumped.
Yep.
I'm stumped.
I can't wait for next week. Like, I wish it was 3 episode drops every week because that's the perfect amount.
I mean, in fairness, there was a lot to watch this week, and I don't think I would have been able to get through it all if Kate was here too. So it's kind of good that it landed when it did.
See, like, you know, the way I watch Dahmer, right?
It's different for you because you don't have to worry about that. But it's like for me, it's like, you know, I have to split my extra customizing time between that and watching the shows I like, right? So,
yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, I'm the exception to the rule for the most part, but
yeah, that's fair.
I like my content drops all at once. I love binging things. So,
yeah, I'm the opposite. I end up ultimately like it's like the demise of shows when Kate and I watch something because it's like she does that. Like she'll get hooked on a show on Friday and watch the whole everything by Monday.
That's
and
me.
It's like, yes, I know it's you.
Yeah.
Whereas like I can't sit and watch like 8 hours of television in a day. I just can't. I don't physically have it in me. Like I'll fall asleep for sure, right? So that's not how I best absorb content. Like I need like, you know, even I knew that having to do 3 episodes of Andor in one night wasn't going to happen. Like I knew I was going to fall asleep and I did, sure enough. So
I mean,
you set yourself up for success and you still will fail because it's just, I know me, right? So
tomorrow I will watch 9 hours of football straight. Like that's I get up at 12:55. I start football at 1 p.m. my time, and I don't stop watching football until 11 o'clock. So,
hey Lou, are we done talking about Andor?
Yeah, it's great. Watch it.
I like it. Watch it. Go watch it. Don't be a fucker. Go watch
2 cups of milk.
2 frothy cold glasses of ice cold moose milk.
Exactly.
Moose. That's the sound of moose.
I didn't expect that.
It's the sound of moose snakes. Cows moo and mooses moose.
I almost spit my drink all over my laptop.
That was great. That would have been good.
Yeah.
What was I going to talk about? Now I forget, of course, what I wanted to talk about. Oh, now I remember what I was going to talk about. So, yeah, I want to jump back to WWF again because Kate said to me when I was watching it while she was getting ready for bed, she was unpacking and I was watching it. And she's like, do you think that there's a chance that you're bisexual? And she's like, I laughed, but then I was just like, when I watch wrestling, the fact that they're half naked dudes wrestling each other,
I don't even notice it.
Like it literally just goes right through me. Like I don't even see it. Like when she said it, I was like, yeah, I guess it's weird because I was watching Royal Rumble and there was like 8 people in the ring and half of them were just wearing trunks. Like she's like, there's like literally 8 naked guys in there, muscly, naked, oiled up guys, and you're just.
They're basically wearing underwear and that's it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get where she's coming from totally, and not for anybody watching that's bisexual or homosexual or anything. We don't care. We love everybody.
Own, man.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I get where she's coming from. But when I watch wrestling, I never even like noticed it. Like when I started watching wrestling at like, I don't know, 13 maybe ish, 12, like I was paying attention to like Lita and Trish Stratus and like all these like hot women that would come out to the ring like barely wearing anything. Like the men, it didn't even like cross my path. It's like going into a locker room, you know, like at the gym or something. Like you're walking around half naked dudes in the locker room. You're not checking out every guy and you're like, hey, like, I mean, maybe some people are, but I'm definitely not. So it's like, it's the same as like, I'm sure if your wife goes to a gym and there's naked women all over the locker room, she's not going like, like.
My wife doesn't go to the gym, but yes, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? No, like it's the same as anything. It's like as a straight man, like you don't even. It's just like, all right, there's a naked guy there. We're like, whatever.
You feeling sturdy says I do. Checks out.
Yeah, like I said, like to each their own. I just think like
no, I agree.
Watching wrestling was more about like the storylines more than like I've never been that guy that's been like, oh, muscle dude, like let's work out, like all that shit. Like I'm just like that's not the part that interests me.
But here's where it's weird for me though, because it's like one of the things I always love about a lot of stuff, Star Wars and comics and especially wrestling, like especially now that I'm collecting these figures and I'm like, I want to have my favorite version of these characters. It's like I have very visual memory of like the outfits that I like, that I prefer of these characters. Like it's so weird that like it completely bypasses my mind that it's half naked men wrestling in a ring together and hitting each other with chairs. But like I obviously do recognize some of the stuff that they wear because like I have, again, like very specifically wanted a very certain look for Triple H, right? Like,
yeah, but it's like a video game too, right? Where it's like a power fantasy, right? Like these guys are like bigger than life, fucking superheroes almost.
Yeah,
like
very much superheroes. I agree.
Yeah, they're going into the ring and getting hit by like fucking sledgehammers and chairs and just getting back up and they're fine. Like it's that power fantasy like men dream of like, oh, I had superpowers. Oh, I could. Somebody pissed me off and I can go to the ring and fucking hit him with a metal chair. Like, it's stuff that you would never actually get to do, but it's fun to like joke about or think about or totally see, play out in front of you. Like,
it just made me laugh when she said that because I was like, no, but I guess I get it. And then like I watched, one of the other things I watched it was just on in the background. I didn't like sit down and watch it. Was like that Toys That Made Us show. I think I've talked to you about it.
Yeah.
They have one that's about wrestling, and one of the guys on there called it male burlesque. And I was like, that is a very great description of professional wrestling.
But for me, like, it was never about the wrestling almost. Like, the matches were fun, but
I
like
the storylines. I like
the storylines and the character development.
USA with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And
like, it was always more about. I mean, I like the violence of it because I've always been like an action fan and like, like The Matrix and like stuff like that. Die Hard growing up, like I was super into those movies. So like seeing like somebody jump off a steel cage through a table, I was like, this is awesome. But it was never really about like, oh, they're fucking two men lubed up and fucking rolling around with each other. Like you could say the same about UFC.
I guess that's valid, except that those guys are actually knocking each other's teeth out. And
fucking
like,
badass as fuck, don't get me wrong. Like, I could never do that job, but I'm saying, like, you're seeing two half-naked men fucking roll around a ring with each other. Like,
yes, I get what you're saying.
Hey, not taking away anything from anybody. Like, they make more money than I do, and they're better skilled at things than I am, so, hey, great.
As fuck. But I did say to Kate, like, one of the things that I think is interesting about wrestling is, like, it is fake, but then I, like, see people jump off the top turnbuckle and slam into like the guardrails, and I'm just like, how did you fake? Is that fake? Like, even though the moves are fake and like there's a lot of like stage landings and stuff like that, there's a lot of things that like when you get thrown off a 30-foot cell that's covering the whole ring through like 5 tables, like
it hurts.
I mean, you can only fake that so much, you know what I mean? It's like
they're stuntmen, man. Like, they're breaking their landings and they're landing on pads at times and stuff. But, like, when you jump 30 feet and land on something, it's going to hurt. I don't care who you are.
Like, you can't fake that. People, like, hit, like, they're standing on the edge of the ropes and they get hit off and they jump off. Like, that's like an 8-foot drop, probably. Like,
I can't even get off the couch without my back hurting.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Welcome to Moose Milk WWF podcast, where we'll be talking exclusively about moving forward WWF. And Handmaid's Tale. Weird mix, I know, but
it was a weird change after year 2 where they really just started talking about wrestling exclusively.
Ryan really stopped liking She-Hulk, and it just all spun out from there.
He just kept talking about the Rock's abs, and it was weird.
Funny.
Yeah, so next week we'll dive into I guess Handmaid's Tale.
3
and 4, and She-Hulk 7.
Yep.
and Andor 4.
Andor. Yep.
So we'll have a shit ton to talk about next week.
We will.
Actually, I think we'll be good for the rest of the year pretty much with like content.
Yeah, there's lots of content. And if not, there's a few things we could go back to.
Yeah. We can always do another pick a movie for each other episode if we run out of shit. So
did I tell you I got shit on the other day in the Toy Amigos chat because of my stance on Indiana Jones?
That's terrible.
It's pretty funny.
I see all these people getting excited for Indiana Jones 5, and I'm like, it's the same as Avatar 2 to me. Who the fuck wants this?
Oh God, Avatar.
Do you see all that? I mean, we're going way off topic, but James Cameron talking like fucking Avatar and Avatar 2. He's just talking so much shit, and I'm like,
I know.
Man, you are really doubling down on this.
Well, I guess you kind of have to. You got to make some water splash because your last movie you're building this off of was like 2 fucking decades ago. So, like, you gotta reignite that spark somehow. Like,
but I think he honestly thinks like, I mean, maybe it will. I don't know, but like, if this movie doesn't make $1 billion, I think he's gonna look at it as a disappointment. And I'm like,
yeah, for sure. It's not going to. There's no way.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to anything at this point because I don't know, but I feel like most people aren't going to the movies anymore.
That's why I'm saying it.
And like,
it's not relevant.
It's not 2012
it would be considered
anymore.
Old at this point, so it's not relevant. And movie numbers have not been the same post-COVID. It doesn't matter what movie it is. I know there's been movies that have made $1 billion, but like,
yeah,
look at the percentage of movies that have come out that have done that versus what haven't, and then look at them pre-pandemic. You're not even looking at anything close to the same numbers. Not the same.
Jurassic World Dominion just crossed $1 billion.
I know, right?
And I'm like, that movie was dog shit, and it made $1 billion. So, but fucking Avatar 2 good.
Back of a big brand that's been relevant for 20-something years.
No, I agree.
Avatar
I mean,
hasn't been, right?
Well, and it's stemming from the love of Jurassic Park, which, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's people out there that love Avatar, but I don't know anybody.
Me neither.
But
I'm sure that there is, though. And I'm not saying that it's going to bomb. I don't think that. But
I think it's going to make its money back, but like I don't think it's going to be like this fucking global juggernaut that the first Avatar was.
The first one did. Again, the first one, it's not like everyone loved Avatar because of the story. It was the 3D visuals that everyone was like, this is fucking incredible.
But 3D is dead now. Like, nobody wants to go see a 3D movie anymore.
Oh, really? I like 3D still. I do almost all my movies in 3D. I know you do. You're like, again, that's like Kate. Hey, I didn't tell you. I'm going to see Clerks tomorrow. We're just going to keep chatting, everyone. You guys can go. Me and Ryan are just catching up.
We're going to go see this. This is going to be the first episode that's 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, that's right. It's an enabler-sized moose milk media. We've ditched the glasses. We've got 2 4-liter jugs. Oh, yeah, you guys do bags in Ontario. Sorry. I have a 4-liter jug. You have a 4-liter bag.
You guys don't have bags there?
No, you're the only province, I'm pretty sure, that has bags. Everyone else does jugs. You guys are weird. Sorry. I can say
Welcome to the Moose Milk Podcast, where we talk about milk and what it comes in.
Today's episode, we're talking about milk. Did you guys know that in Ontario, in Canada, they put their milk in these bags, and then it kind of reminds me of those like stress things that slip through your hand. You like hold it and it slips through. That's what they remind me of.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't understand it.
You have to have a milk holder, because if you don't,
as somebody that works at a grocery store, the amount of punctured bags that come in is like all the time, and I'm like, you know, they developed technology that makes a hard sides to contain liquid where it wouldn't puncture.
It's so weird that they don't do that. I'm pretty sure that Ontario is the only province that still does milk in a bag.
I don't know what we were talking about.
When I say bagged milk out here, people look at me like I have 7 heads. Seriously.
What were we talking about before that? Avatar.
Well, we just kind of keep going off track. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Oh, glasses. I hate 3D because I hate wearing glasses on top of glasses.
I thought you were just going to start talking about a new thing. Man, I hate wearing glasses. They're the worst.
I hate that too. My sister's getting fucking laser eye surgery, and I'm like, I'm so fucking jealous because I want it so bad. Hey, people that are rich in chat, if you want to send me like $5,000 to get laser eye surgery, please do.
If you do, he'll turn his eyes to a new color for you too. He'll turn.
Or if you know how to do laser eye surgery,
on the cheek.
Yeah.
He gives good neck rubs.
That's not the only thing I'll rub. All right.
We're definitely done here.
We're done. Oh yeah, we're done 45 minutes ago.
Okay.
Um,
That's great.
yeah, for people that aren't following us, please do. We just crossed 150 followers on Instagram, so I would like to get that to 200 by January. So please follow us at Moose Milk Media.
Tell your grandma; she'll love us.
Tell a friend that's
Grandma. They're talking about bagged milk, yo, and she's like, "Oh, in my day."
Hey, Grandma, remember the rotary phones? That's going to be next week's on this podcast. We're going to talk rotary phones.
Milk, that show that we do.
Rotary phones and dial-up internet next week on the Moose Milk Podcast.
We're talking Andor. We're talking She-Hulk. We're talking Handmaid's Tale. Talking rotary phones, pagers, all that stuff.
Writing letters to a friend.
Carrier pigeons.
Yeah, horse-drawn carriages.
Moose-drawn carriages.
Yeah, oh, that'd be better. Yeah, so follow us, Moose Milk Media. If you're not following Matt, follow him at Customs by Matthew. Go over to his YouTube channel so you can watch Whip Wednesdays.
This Wednesday, I'm doing a full tour of my whole collection.
Beautiful.
Should be fun. So come and chat and look at it.
Guests on recently. He's doing a lot of cool different things, so you should fucking go over there and watch his Whip Wednesdays.
I have my groove back, everyone. I'm back, baby.
He's Stella.
I got my groove back, like Stella did.
Exactly.
And the Emperor.
Yeah, and you can get the podcast on podcast services of your choice in audio-only form if that's the way you choose to listen to us, but you're missing out on all the great visual gags. Yeah, and Matt's hot bod. Yeah. Our art is done by Jeannie Milnard, and next week we will catch you at the same time. So please come back and give us a follow and watch.
Peace out, homie.
Goodbye, buddy.
Ciao.